I'm Bex, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, consider sticking around a while. Today's video is something I've been meaning to do, but I've probably put off for way too long. And that is overhauling my old OCs. Yes, overhauling and not just fixing, because they need a whole makeover. The two characters I'll be looking at today I made about 4 years ago, and it's honestly insane to see how much my style has changed since then. The style I had back then isn't too much different from mine now, but it changed a lot in between those two stages. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the first character I'll be revising. The first character's name is Forest, which, upon revising her, I changed her name because my dog's name is Forest, and I just think that's kind of weird. So her name is Fern now. So the first thing that jumped out at me was that there was just too much brown on her design. I can see that I tried to break it up with the little bits of green on her sleeves, but overall she's just plain and dull. I also want to keep her warmer color palette because that's kind of something that's different from all of my other designs and something I normally don't play with too often. So with that being said, let's just jump into the redesign.
So from what I can remember, Fern is very shy and timid and gentle, much like a deer. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, she's part deer. I hope that came across with her antlers and her ears. When I made her back in the 6th grade, I didn't really write backstories for my characters. I kind of just made characters impulsively, gave them a name, and boom, I have a character. I also thought it'd be nice to have reference sheets for these characters, so that's what I'll be doing. For her antlers, I was going to change the shape completely, but after a few attempts of that, I decided to take the original shape but just flip them so they're facing inward instead of outward. I also tried to make her ears a little more doe-esque because, to me, they don't really read deer. I don't know exactly what they look like, they just don't look like deer ears. I, of course, kept her long flowing hair and also gave her a scarf. I actually don't think any of my characters have scarves, so I guess she'll be the first. I usually tend to associate warmer color palettes with fall and autumn, whatever you call it, I really don't care. So I decided to give her a cozy sweater and some jeans, and of course the boots had to stay, so I kept those with the fur trimmings. In the middle, I decided to make a reference for her scarf, and I also just did another expression drawing. It's just the sketch. I didn't feel like lining it, and I kind of like how sketches look on character sheets. It just kind of adds that, I don't know. I just like having sketches on character sheets. Also, if any of you have ideas for future videos, if you could leave those in the comments, that would be very much appreciated. I am also thinking of maybe doing some art streams. I've been wanting to do art streaming for quite a while now, and now that I'm doing YouTube, I figured that would be the perfect opportunity. For the line art, I did keep it kind of sketchy this time. I'm finally figured it out, I guess. Like I said before, I decided to keep her warm color palette and made her hair more of kind of a warm chestnut color. and made her scarf like a bright red to make it really pop. I also fiddled around with the color of her jeans, and I just wasn't happy with it. And I was like, oh yeah, colored jeans are a thing, so I made them kind of a light tan kind of color. Now on to shading. I know in my last video I said I had just found a new shading style that I really liked, but like I also said in that video, I am very indecisive, so I changed it again. I'll probably end up switching back and forth, just depends on how I feel and kind of how I want the drawing to look. I also gave her really dark eyes to emulate how deer's eyes are really dark and shiny, so I gave her some big dark eyes. And then I added the pattern to her scarf, and I also gave it some cute little tassels at the end. I probably made the scarf overlay way more complicated than I had to make it, but cut me some slack, it was my first time doing something like this. Finally added some wispies to her hair, and that's Fern's character sheet finished. The next character is Crystal, and oh my goodness, do I have work to do. Miss Girl needs a longer dress because that is way too short, and I guess I just like to slap wolf features on everyone that I've drew. So, yeah. I'm also going to be giving her a different hair color because that blue is not it. So let's get started. For this drawing, I had already started in my sketchbook, so I just took a picture of that and imported it into my drawing software. And as for her personality and story, again, didn't have a backstory because I just didn't do that, I guess. I remember virtually nothing for her personality. Like I said, I used to make characters pretty impulsively and didn't put much thought into them, so we got nothing for this one. When I did rewrite her, I gave her a personality that's kind of bubbly and carefree, and maybe kind of mischievous at times. I do remember when I used to draw her when I was younger, I tried to give her kind of wavy hair. It doesn't really come across in the drawing that I put earlier, but I gave her kind of longer curly hair, and I also changed the color, like I said. I also kept her in a dress, I just gave her a better and more modest one, and I also made the color less vibrant and more of a baby blue, as you'll see later on. I also gave her a cropped jean jacket to go over top of her dress, and got rid of those wolf ears and tail because they just didn't look good on her, honestly. I don't know why I even put them on. I just kind of slapped them on anything I drew. In the center of Crystal's sheet, I decided to put a reference of her without her jean jacket on and what the straps looked like on her dress, and another expression drawing because, I don't know, I just really love them. The liner went pretty smoothly for the most part. I also decided to add a reference for her earrings because they're really tiny and you can't really see them on her like full body, so I just made a close-up of them in the middle. I don't really have much to say about the line art. It went pretty smoothly for the most part. And yeah, so we'll just move on to the coloring, I guess. I kept her bright blue eyes and I turned her blue hair into blonde, and honestly, it kind of gave me Goldilocks vibes. I really don't know why, but that's just kind of what it looked like to me. I had quite a bit of fun shading her hair. I'd always had trouble shading like wavy hair in the past, but since I had figured out this new way of shading, it seemed a lot easier. Overall, this drawing went pretty smoothly. Don't have too terribly much to say about it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope some of you will consider subscribing if you haven't already, and leave a like down below. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Bye!